Shalom, Rabbi Wein.
Shalom, Yoni. Pleasure.
So on Lag BaOmer, we're marking events that occurred in the days of Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Akiva. So if you could please take us back to the time of Rabbi Akiva.
Well, in about 65 years after the Churban Bayis Sheni, after the Second Temple was destroyed, there was a great rebellion against the Romans, headed by Bar Kokhba, and it was a 4-year rebellion. The first 2 years were very successful. Even Jerusalem was recaptured by the Jews. But after a period of time, the Romans mobilized their legions and crushed the rebellion. Rabbi Akiva was originally the spiritual supporter of Bar Kokhba, and from the Talmud, it appears that he even thought him to be a potential Messiah. It didn't turn out that way. Beitar fell. Thousands, tens of thousands of Jews were slaughtered, and many more tens of thousands of Jews were taken into captivity. The fallout was disastrous. And the Talmud tells us that there was a period of time when 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva passed away from the period, the beginning of Sfirat HaOmer, till the 33rd day of the Omer.
And this was parallel to the difficulties that you were talking about earlier?
So there is an opinion amongst the scholars, amongst Rishonim, one opinion that the 24,000 were killed in the war. There are other opinions that they died of plagues. But whatever it was an enormous tragedy of so many people to die at so short a period of time, so to speak, in so short a period of time, and the fact that they were Rabbi Akiva's Talmidim.
And this is why these days are days of mourning.
So that colored already the Sfira period. That's how it became a period of mourning. It became a period of not commemorating weddings and not shaving, not taking a haircut, etc. And that was the origin of it. The 33rd day, the Talmud says they ceased dying, and so therefore that became like a minor day of celebration. And that was the origin of Lag BaOmer. Now, over the centuries, Lag BaOmer has taken on a few other layers because of historical events that occurred, and also because of the spread of Kabbalah in the Jewish world, which the Talmud did not speak about, but our world today has very strong Kabbalistic overtones.
So Rabbi Wein, with all the expectations and of course the success that you're talking about, the end of the story, so to speak, must have been tragically disappointing.
Right. Well, there's no question that at the beginning of the Bar Kokhba rebellion, and the fact that it was successful for 2 years, and that the Jews came back to Jerusalem, there's an opinion even that they attempted to restore the temple, and that they were going to bring the temple service back into actuality. And Rabbi Akiva said, Dorach Kochav Miyakov, that the great star of Jacob is now appearing. So naturally, there were enormous anticipation and hopes, and it didn't turn out. Many times if you have very high expectations and they're not realized, it's a greater disappointment than if you never had those expectations.
How do you, Rabbi Wein, see the bonfires that we're seeing on Lag BaOmer? Some say that they commemorate the bonfires from the Bar Kokhba rebellion.
Well, that's like justifying what we do by telling a story in the past. It could be. When I grew up, there were no bonfires. But when I grew up, there was the tradition that children went out into the open spaces, and we shot bows and arrows. And that was the reminder of the Bar Kokhba rebellion. And that was the reminder of what happened. I see in our neighborhood, every piece of wood is being collected. So I guess bonfires are more exciting.
So, as a historian and as an educator, Rabbi Wein, what is it that we should be taking and learning from the historical events and the stories that we're talking about these days?
The message always of the Jewish people is resilience, the ability to rise from tragedy and rebuild ourselves, not to lose focus, the ability to realize that the Lord is protecting us in one way or another, and even when things don't go exactly as we think they should, we should not despair, but we should try again. And that's the greatness of Rabbi Akiva. After this happened, he still was Rabbi Akiva, and he still was able to produce students. He produced the 5 students that built the Mishnah, built the Talmud, that gave us the continuity of the Jewish people until today. So he himself is that great example of having ups and downs, so to speak, in his life, but never losing the fact that he was Rabbi Akiva and what he could do and what he could accomplish. And that's very important for us to understand also. Israel has ups and downs. It's not, many times I think part of the disappointment, if I could use that word, that some sections of Jewry have regarding the state of Israel is because their expectations were unrealistic, and they're unable to deal with the fact that it's a process, and we were getting there, it's painful, but you don't come back after 1900 years and all of a sudden everything should be perfect.
Rabbi Berel Wein, Rabbi of the Hanassi Synagogue in Jerusalem and Director of the Destiny Foundation, thank you very much for joining us, and happy Lag BaOmer.
My pleasure, and have a happy Lag BaOmer.